Today we're going to talk about Venus and Cupidus. Hey, welcome! I'm LeilaFox. Today's lore story is going to be for Venus and Cupidus. They are two legendary Sacred Order champs in Raid Shadow Legends, and they are a pair that was released during Valentine's Day. Now, again, they're part of the Sacred Order, so how do they fit into the Sacred Order? We're going to check out that lore faction as a whole. For centuries, the Knights of the Sacred Order were charged with cleansing Teleria of evil in all its guises. But since the declaration of war, they have sworn allegiance to the Queen of Arabia. In league with the Queen's necromancer, these once holy knights now enforce Her Majesty's will and guard her chattel. Let's get into the lore story for Venus and Cupidus from the Tellurian Lore Book of Champions. Bards and minstrels have spun many tales about love so pure it overcomes death itself. While it is, indeed, the stuff of many a ballad, too many perhaps, the realm of Teleria had seen these wondrous tales come to life. One particular legend speaks of a maiden so fair she caught a jealous eye of an evil sorcerer, a servant of Siroth's dark will. The spells he weaved allowed him to entrance the maiden and entrap her in a distant stronghold. Fortunately, her faith allowed the maiden to break free and regain her will before the sorcerer's vile designs could be realized. Yet she remained a prisoner under threat of imminent death were she not to accept the sorcerer's advances. But all was not lost, for her promised one, a noble knight of great renown, rose up to the challenge. He fought his way through untold dangers and enemies uncountable before forcing the great gates of the Dark Keep open. There, the entire might of the sorcerer's magic was unleashed upon him. The knight cut down hordes of Siroth's servants, ignoring his own wounds and striking the villain down with a single blow of his blessed sword. Though life ebbed away from his body by the moment, he chose to expend the last of his strength on proclaiming his love for the maiden who was finally free. It was at that moment the Arbiter herself interfered. Though Linnea may never guide the affairs of mortals, her faithful herald would not let a heroic deed driven by love as pure as that turn into tragedy. She used her power to save the dying knight, yet such divine assistance did come with a price. Unable to live on without her beloved, the maiden did not hesitate to swear her own soul to Linnea's cause. In turn, both she and her knight were granted with life immortal. There are many recountings of their adventures afterward, some contradicting each other, some the stuff of fairy tales. Even their true names are lost to history, as is any proof that their origins are anything more than legend. Yet one thing is certain. Wherever the mysterious lovers known as Venus and Cupidus appear, no darkness may stand before the fires of their passion. With her magic and his trusty blade, the pair has saved lives beyond counting. Any warrior that gains the loyalty of both of these divine servants will find their force strengthened with the kind of purity only love that transcends mortal boundaries can bring. That's the lore story for Venus and Cupidus, and I have to say it has a very much a fairy tale kind of vibe to it, you know? We have this lovely maiden who is kidnapped by an evil sorcerer. We have this knight who is her chosen knight who sacrifices himself to save her. But she's not helpless either, right? She's a sorceress. She has magic in of herself, and we see that the Arbiter comes in to save the day, as she often does a lot of times in these stories. Having watched the love grow between Venus and Cupidus, having watched Cupidus sacrifice himself to save the woman that he loves, Arbiter wasn't going to let that go. So she grants him eternal life. And Venus herself also agrees to fight for Teleria and be one of Arbiter's chosen so that she could stay with her beloved. And then the two of them go through, they have ventures together, they become pretty much a story of legend. So I feel like this is just a very sweet, almost like old school kind of fun fairy tale type story. And I really like what they did. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think for this story for Venus and Cupidus. Do you agree? Is it a kind of story that you would have expected for these two champions? I would love to know. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out some more videos up here in the playlist on the top right.